Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3 for what is intended to be the final episode of this Persian series. We've definitely come a long ways, no doubt about that. But there is still theoretically things we could do, like breaking free from Britain and becoming militarily independent. That's a theoretical possibility. I don't think it's strictly necessary to work on right now. And I will say this, I am committed to going into overtime here, at least for the duration of this episode, just to round this one out as like a full-ish duration episode. I don't want this to be like 10 minutes long or whatever, right? I don't think that's going to be the case. We've got like 6 months to go here, but that is absolutely fine. So we'll be most of the way through our foreign investment queue by the time this is over, and that seems great. Our social security investment has increased, and we're going to have to pause our construction, actually, right now. So we're going to do that. That'll be fine. And I'd love to see proportional taxation go through here before we have our series end. That would be amazing. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It feels like we're a long ways away from it, but that really depends on a lot of factors. So that's absolutely understood. And as I've been saying, our primary issue at this point is our population. However, our annual projected pop growth is growing right now, despite the flu pandemic. So that's definitely good. No doubt about that. Well, we're going to continue to build up some gold reserves for a little bit here, although we're up to 1.34 million. I think we can probably resume construction after this week tick. Okay, let's resume construction. The French flu is spreading into Khorasan, understood. So we can check in here and we can see that definitely hit our mortality. No doubt about that. That's understood. Not too much we can do about it other than weather the storm. Great Britain is enforcing military access out over here. I don't care. They can do that if they like. So that seems great for right now. Our railway in Fars is being worked on. We have that transportation shortage there, so that's absolutely fine. And what else do we have going on here? Well, not a lot is the answer. Okay. So we're out of that war. That's perfect. And how long do we have on this timed modifier? Where is this? This should be in here. 4 years? Okay. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, for sure. We're going to need some additional bureaucracy, because we're currently working on bringing up our poor laws, right? So we're going to need some bureaucracy being produced. So here in Iranian Hormuz, we could actually use some infrastructure. Each one of these is, or rather, yeah, that's infrastructure. We need taxation capacity in Fars. So one here is absolutely fine, and then after that, we're interested in just gaining some additional here. But what do we actually need? So this is not going up right now. So we need a total of 560 bureaucracy. So we just queued up one. That's 65. What is 560 divided by 65? That is 8.62. So we'll call it 9. 9 government administrations. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just spreading it out a little bit. That'll be fine, but I queued those at the bottom of the list for some reason, and that needs to be brought right up to the top. There we go. So we'll get that going, and we're going to work on that. Let's see what happens with proportional taxation here. Progress to study. Beautiful. So the next roll is going to be after the end of the game, which we're going to be continuing with. Like I said, I don't want this to be a 10-minute episode. So we'll see if we get proportional taxation done here, but this is going to be the final episode of this series. So that's all looking absolutely fine for now. And we're currently up to 389 bureaucracy, so we can definitely work our way up a little bit here, up to about here. But we need a lot more to make our way totally up, right? That's going to need some time. Russia is demanding conquer Turkmenia from us. We're going to decline that. So that's starting a war, but Britain is going to defend us. So that's absolutely understood. That's very rude of Russia, of course. And let's recruit ourselves a leader here from the armed forces. This will be a leader from the Petit Bourgeoisie will be fine. Petit Bourgeoisie here as well. That'll be okay for the moment. And then the rural folk. Okay, so that seems fine for now. Now, we've really neglected our military, but we did just recently upgrade all of our infantry to skirmish infantry. So that is something to note. And we can also recruit some conscripts. So how many conscripts can we even get up here? Apparently 0? Well, that's interesting. So how does this work at this point? This has definitely changed since last time I played with conscripts. They're temporary battalions recruited and maintained from the civilian population by conscription centers. Yeah. But... okay, so they don't count towards the command limit. Yeah. What is our current command limit? So our command limit here is 30. So that means we need another commander here right now. Okay, so we're at 31 at this moment. And I'd like to change this around a little bit. So we can recruit some conscripts from a lot of different places. I want to sort by... oh, this is a weird way to sort it. Okay. That's a very weird way to sort it. So we're going to need to add conscript battalions, right? So how many do we want to add in here? I'm going to add in... let's see, we've got 23 here. I want a couple of professional battalions. So I'm going to add 2 professional battalions here to bring this to 25. And then I'm going to bring this up to 10. Like that. I know job seekers are going to be a problem. And then we're going to go to 10 cavalry as well. Or maybe like 12 of each. 12? If I recall correctly, 50% is the correct ratio for these. Unless that's been changed too. We haven't really messed with the military in this game all that much because we've mostly been letting Britain handle this, and we'll probably still let Britain handle this, to be honest. But let's do something like that, and then I want to get a double amount in conscripts. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be 8, like that. Okay, so that'll be 12 and 12, and then this is going to be an additional 12. So that's 16 right there, and this should go up to 24. Perfect. And then I'm actually going to have this be 24. And then we're going to have this go up to 48. Like that. Okay, so that's this army, in theory, ready to go. We can't raise these conscripts right now because we need to mobilize it. That's understood. And these are not actually being built. Gotcha. Okay, so we're going to want to do some work here. So we'll upgrade all of our cavalry. These are currently hussars and should be upgrading, or they are currently upgrading to lancers. Okay. We could just get rid of them. Like this. Because they should be on lancers, right? Yes. This is accurate. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we have no artillery here. We have irregulars here, and those are working on upgrading, but... why did that just make this have nothing in it? That was odd. Okay, well, we're going to need to recruit some skirmish infantry here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It says right there. Okay, that's convenient. So we're going to need some... we're going to need more than this. We're going to go to 24. And for shrapnel artillery, we're going to go to 12. That was 13. There we go. And then for cavalry, we're going to go to 12 as well. How many was that? I actually don't know. That was 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so something like that. And then we're going to get some conscripts going as well. So this is going to be something like 24. There we go. And then we're going to need to switch to conscripts for shrapnel artillery. So this is just doubling the size of our army, right? So that's the idea here. And then this is going to need to be up to 48, like that. Okay, so that looks good. Next up, we're going to have to do this army. And we've got some irregulars here. Let's get rid of those. We've got some skirmishes, some shrapnel artillery. I'm going to get rid of these lancers, and we're just going to build... never mind, I did that wrong. I shouldn't have gotten rid of the lancers. It's okay. So we're going to do 12 here, so that's going to take us up to 59. There we go. And then we're going to do... as far as the shrapnel artillery goes, we need 11. So that's going to bring us up to 70. There we go. And then for skirmish infantry, we are going to do, how many of this? There's 5 currently, so we're going to need 19, bringing us up to 89. Okay, that's as good as we can go, but we can do that. Yes, this looks correct. So now we're going to bring this up to 24. Okay, so this is going to be something like this. 24, there we go. And we're going to need to do 12 here, so this is going to bring us up to 36 in total. There we go. And then an additional 12 here, bringing us up, of course, to 48. This is sorting in such a weird way. Okay, just sort by the HQ. Thank you. So this is too many, isn't it? Yeah, this is way too many cavalry. Okay, so we're going to back off on those and put that there. Next, we're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to need to recruit some professional troops here. This is going to be 21 of them. So that's going to bring us up to 40 in Tabriz. There we go. And then as far as the shrapnel artillery go, we're going to need to recruit 12 of these, bringing us up to 52. And then lancers, this is going to bring us up to 64. There we go. So that'll be fine, and now we'll need to do conscripts here, so this is going to, of course, be up to 24. There we go. And then for our shrapnel artillery, we're going to bring this up to 36. And then for lancers, we're going to bring this up to 48. That was 49. That's one too many. Okay, so final army here. So this is skirmish infantry right now. We're going to need to get in 20 of these. So this is going to bring us up to 84. Cool. There we go. And now we're going to need 12 artillery here. So this is going to bring us up to 96, but that's not actually going to get to 96. So we need an additional 4 here. There we go. And then we're going to need some lancers here. So this is going to bring this up to 16. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing here. We're, of course, going to want to get up to 24 of these guys. So that is 24. There we go. And then this is going to be 12. So this brings us up to 36. And then an additional 12 here. So we don't have to build conscription centers, huh? That's interesting. And we should be here. Okay, so something along the lines of that. Now, we're going to need to shift some of this around. These barracks are all going to have to go absolutely to the top. Some of these were not built on the top, some of them were, but we want to prioritize getting these completed. Eventually, that will happen. Okay, this is a lot of them. No doubt about that, but there we go. So we're not particularly interested right now in the foreign investments, right? We want to get all these barracks built. So that is being worked on. And the British are going to help us here, so that is definitely something to note. And we've still got that plague occurring as well. Now, as far as the Russian front goes, there's actually only the one front here. So we're going to mobilize our forces, and we're going to send them out here. Now, are we going to raise the conscripts? How long does that take, I wonder? That'll be interesting. No doubt about that. So we're going to need some extra command limit out here. And I want these guys to head out over this way. We can't actually mobilize these right now because there's no troops here. And that's understood. So we're going to mobilize these, and we're going to send them out over here. And we're going to mobilize these and send them out over here. Now, if we look at this, we can see we can raise up to 240 conscripts at this point. Army power projection of 1499. Now, that's not a ton of army power projection. No doubt about that. If we look at Russia, yeah, it's small. But we're going to have Britain helping us, and that's going to be... Actually, Britain should be able to win that. So that's absolutely wonderful. This is why we've cozied up to Britain this whole time, for the record. We've been scared of Russia this entire time. So we're going to head out here. There's an agrarian party being formed right now, and we're at 0 legitimacy. Did we just have an election? We must have. So these guys are going to be a legitimate government. So that's not bad. And proportional taxation is still passable, theoretically. So I want to come into here, and I want to raise these conscripts. I want to see how that works. This is a 0 strength army right now. So we're raising up these conscripts. Okay, this definitely takes a little while. So let's get all of these guys raising up their conscripts. There we go. Yeah, we know we have some low organization. That's not surprising. A lot of these are going to be having issues with their force limit, right? So we know we're going to need 3 commanders for, like, each of these armies, I think. I think is what we're going to need ultimately. But for now, it's probably okay where they're at, in theory. Okay, so we can definitely see there are forces, that there are conscripts beginning to mobilize out over here. So let's get these guys up to this front. And that looks fine for now. We've got all of these barracks finishing up. They're going to build quite quickly. We're positive financially. That surprises me. Okay, I guess we're positive financially right now. Cool. Austria sided with Russia. Sure. And there's actually a Arabistan front down over here. Ah, this is a revolution over this way. We don't need to worry about that. So that's understood, and I want all of these guys to be flipped over to defending this front. I don't want to go into this at all. So we're going to defend this front in all of these places. There we go. And this will be absolutely fine in theory. Britain has some forces on the way over, and that should help matters. And in the meantime, of course, we are building all of these barracks, and that's okay. So there's a vulnerable front in Arabistan down over here. Yeah, I'm actually going to send these guys over, I think. Yeah, let's send these over to this front just to make sure that that gets dealt with. Britain has forces moving around. It should be fine. We've got all of our guys on defense, except I want these guys attacking. So that'll be okay for now. And we're working on mobilizing on up. As you can see here, we have more than doubled our army power projection since we started working on that. And that's looking good. When will this plague end, indeed? So this is not going to be great for us, of course, that Russia decided to do this, but things are looking quasi-okay. Emphasis on quasi. So our organization is on the way up. That's noted. And we're about halfway through this. This one will be a little slower, so that's absolutely fine. We're going to need more organization. We can see that this army here is definitely going to need another leader, so I'm going to put in this guy. There we go. And we're making our way through mobilization here. Cool. At this point, we are at about 4,000 power projection, and that's continuing to go up. So Nejd has sided with Great Britain. That's allying with us, so that's great. And how many more of these barracks do we have to go? The answer is quite a lot. So we'll be working on that for a while. We could move this railway in Fars up and be working on just that, and that's reasonably okay. So we're still making our way through a lot of these barracks constructions, and as you can see, this isn't too bad on this front. And that's the end of the game. Right there. So the war hasn't technically broken out yet. We're going to continue playing. Absolutely. This is in the post-game at this point, and I want to see how this war plays out. This is going to be real interesting. I have a feeling that we're going to win this. So, death and taxes, this guy would die, but we would gain additional enactment success chance. Consider it done. Okay, we have a new president, and that's absolutely understood. Our old president died. The plague is continuing to spread, and that is fine. So we've got a lot of barracks finishing up here, and in fact, we're working on all of our remaining barracks. So that seems good. Okay, so we have too many cavalry and artillery. That's interesting. How much are we supposed to have? It's because we only have 47 units of infantry right now. Okay, I think we needed another unit of infantry here. I think that was the issue. Because, yeah, it's supposed to be 50% of them and 50% infantry, right? So, too many by one Lancer here. So this is 12 and this is 12. This is 12 and this is 12. Yeah, I think the issue is this is 24. And this is... Actually, it should be this. Okay, so we needed one additional unit of infantry here. Okay, so we'll let that go for now. All of these are still categorized as too many, which is interesting to me. It might just be that there's too many at this moment because we haven't gotten all of the units here. So that seems fine. Look at this. We've got a small advantage here. Most of this is because of Britain, of course, but... Okay, war with a radical revolt has broken out, and that is, I think, this war? Yeah. So these guys are working on advancing here. And there's low organization up over here. This is the first Iranian army that has the low organization. So that is going to be, well, we need a leader here. We'll go with an armed forces leader. We need a leader here for sure. And then we need a leader here. And we need a leader here. Okay, there we go. That'll do for now. War with Russia has broken out, and we're just going to be defending on this front. So that's the goal for right now. The French flu is continuing to spread. And we're going to win this very, very quickly, of course. So this front is basically already over. We're still mobilizing. There's a lot of battles going on this front. So there's this one here, which we are actually winning. There's this battle, which Britain is losing. Yeah, Britain's losing a number of battles along that front for right now. That's understood. Okay, so we're kicking Arabistan out of Arabistan. It's awkward timing, but it's fine. What is our current power projection? 4801, so that has definitely improved by a lot. That's good to know. But as you can see here, things are spicy along this front. We'll see what Britain decides to do about this. They've got additional armies down over here in this war, and that's understood. Britain will probably ultimately win this. But we may never know. We'll see. Okay, let's wrap this battle up. This is now over, and these guys are now heading up to this front. We want to make sure that they are on defend front, and we're going to need to put in another leader here, so that would be like this guy. As you can see, our manpower is taking an absolute beating up on this front, and that's not terribly surprising. That's not terribly surprising at all. So this barracks in Tabriz is not actually being built. We'll get rid of that for now. Our law debate failed. Okay, things are suddenly going somewhat badly. So that's understood for now. There's a lot of fronts down over here that Britain is probably going to clean up very quickly, would be the idea. But this is kind of a very significant war, with them directly claiming one of our territories. And I believe they're claiming Turkmenia, correct? Yeah, they want Turkmenia and Iranian Chorasmia is what they want. They want a lot of things overall. But out of curiosity, how's it going? Well, it's fairly even right now, is the answer. The 6th Iranian army down here. What is this? It should not exist. This should be disbanded. Okay. So, checking in over here, we definitely still have too many of these. So, more artillery and cavalry combined than it has infantry. 47 infantry. We're supposed to have 48 of each. And that's the case here. So this army here clearly needs one additional unit of infantry. We're supposed to have 24 plus 24. This is not that. So we can have this be like this. And then this is supposed to be 15 plus 7. That is 22. So 23 and 24. Like that. Now there's no problem here. Okay. No issue here. No issue here. No issue here. No issue here. And this one has an issue. So at this point, we can see 44 infantry and 46. That's not correct. So this is currently 23. This should be 24. And then this is currently 21. This should be 24. Like that. Okay. There we go. So that's fine for now. We're going to get these barracks completed. It is about time to put a cut in here, so I guess we're just never going to know how this plays out, because I do think that this is time to put an end in here. But I have a feeling this war is not really going to go anywhere. I think we're just going to dig in along this line here, and nothing is really going to end up happening. Britain's going to clean up all these little fronts, and then they're going to come up over here, and that'll be dealt with. I mean, they're being invaded in their own homeland, but this is going to get handled fairly quickly, I feel like. So it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we're not going to have a next episode. This is an interesting way to end it, in my opinion. It's kind of a cliffhanger ending. This could go either way in theory, so I guess you can just have your own headcanon on how this plays out. We are past the end of the game anyway, and yeah, this is very even, so it's going to be interesting. By gonna be, I mean it would be interesting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. But before I go, I just want to point out, we're number 6 military in the world right now. That was quick.